Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Monday, April 6th, 2018. Again. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was down 4.28% in the last 24 hours, with a last of $8,002, a high of $8,408, and a low of $7,919. And everything's wrong. That's the Mayer multiple is at 0.84 with a Bitcoin price of around 8,000 and a 200-day moving average of around 9,644. The Mayer multiple has been higher 83% of the time with an average of 1.57. Bitcoin price could hit $25,000 this year. Soar to the moon after, says Analyst. But I thought it was dead. I thought it was tulips and a bubble and popping and all those things. Resistance ahead. Bitcoin bulls must break 85,000. 8,500. 85,000 would be quite a break. Let's go straight to the view. A high volume break above 8,500, the falling trend line hurdle, would confirm a long-term bearish to bullish trend change. A healthy pullback to 7,700 could be seen, but will likely be short-lived. A daily close below the 10-day moving average would abort the short-term bullish view. Only a break below the weekly 50-day moving average, currently seen at around 6,905, would revive the bearish outlook. New York today, living on Bitcoin. That's right, it's the same article that's already been done 2 or 3 times by the mainstream media. Can you live on Bitcoin in New York City, home of the Bit license, the most onerous reporting requirements for Bitcoin known to Bitcoiners? The answer, of course, is not really. The New York subway doesn't accept Bitcoin, so the author likely had to hop the turnstiles. He found a few restaurants that did, but of course had trouble scanning QR codes and using applications on his phone because it's so difficult. But once again, have you tried living on gold or silver? HODL on, in defense of Bitcoin's best strategy. Well, I wouldn't really call it a strategy. As described in this original GameCube post on the Bitcoin Talk forum, spelling errors and profanity included, which I am going to read a second time, presumably this time with the microphone working. I am hodling. I typed that title twice because I knew it was wrong the first time. Still wrong. Whatever. Girlfriends out at a lesbian bar. Bitcoin crashing. Why am I holding? I'll tell you why. It's because I'm a bad trader. And I know I'm a bad trader. Yeah, you good traders can spot the highs and the lows. Pit, pat, piffy, wing, wong, wang. Just like that and make $1,000,000. Sure, no problem, bro. Likewise, the weak hands are going like, oh no, it's going down. I'm going to sell. And they're like, oh my God, asshole, when the smart traders who know what the fuck they're doing buy back in. But you know what? I'm not part of that group. When the traders buy back in, I'm already part of the market capital. So guess who you're cheating, day traders? Not me. Those taunt threads saying, oh, you should have sold. Yeah, no shit, I should have sold. I should have sold moments before every sell and bought moments before every buy. But you know what? Not everybody is as cool as you. You only sell in a bear market if you're a good day trader or an illusioned noob. The people in between hold. In a zero-sum game such as this, traders can only take your money if you sell. So I've had some whiskey. Actually, on the bottle, it's spelled whiskey without an E. Whatever. Sue me, but only if it's payable in Bitcoin. Wise words from the original hodler. Samsung explores database for tracking global shipments. Samsung says that tracking their global database in a shipment tracking their global shipments in a database could really make their system more efficient. However, they're deciding to use a blockchain, a distributed ledger system to track international systems. Maybe there was something untrustworthy about their old database, and the blockchain database is going to be more database. Who knows? Vitalik, serious joke. The case for ending Ethereum inflation. And this is a big issue. One of the reasons, besides the ICO and the selling the product before they had a product and all the other reasons why I didn't invest in the Ethereum presale, one of them, first among the list, was inflation. Ethereum has never been a serious cryptocurrency because at any time, the Ethereum developers could simply print more. Remember that originally Ethereum was fuel or gas for running smart contracts, and you wouldn't want the price of your smart contracts going up 10x, 100x, or 1000x. That would make them impossible to run, rendering the system useless. It seems like Vitalik has finally realized this, but in the other direction. Vitalik is calling for Ethereum to become a serious cryptocurrency by putting a cap on the number of Ethereum. This would mean that your smart contracts are endlessly going to get more expensive, and the idea that Ethereum is fuel and not a currency would lose its legal defense. Very interesting story from Vitalik. Downright fraud. Hong Kong Securities Watchdog warns on ICOs. While we acknowledge that innovative technologies such as blockchain or database have the potential to improve efficiency and financial inclusion, that does not entitle anyone to conduct fundraising from the public in violation of securities law. Sounds good to me. Taiwanese miner shot by gangsters, blames China's strict Bitcoin control. A Taiwanese Bitcoin miner has been shot by gangsters following an argument about mining profits. According to Liberty Times, the Bitcoin miner, known only by the name Wu, accepted 10 million Chinese yuan, equal to almost $1.6 million, from two local gangsters in order to turn Bitcoin mining profits for them. At the meeting the three had arranged, Wu admitted that he had not been able to produce the fiat currency expected on schedule, blaming China's strict controls on Bitcoin and adding that he was not deliberately defaulting on the payment. The gangsters, however, were not satisfied, shooting Wu in the ankle before scattering, only to turn themselves in hours later. Very interesting to see what's happening in China, where the gangsters wouldn't accept Bitcoin and would only accept fiat currency. It seems like he made a bad deal, this Wu guy. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, unsuitable at any speed. As the article describes, Bitcoin is not a suitable investment, according to FINRA, because the people selling it, both the seller and the buyer, must completely understand Bitcoin. As it says here, brokers must have a firm understanding of both the product and the customer, according to Rule 2111. Therefore, if your broker doesn't understand Bitcoin, he can't sell it to you. Similarly, if you don't understand Bitcoin, you can't buy it. Maybe this is the end of brokerages and selling people stocks. Maybe they don't have the right to advise people on investments anymore. Interesting story. The Bitcoin bubble has burst? No, the Bitcoin bubble is not bursting. Bitcoin doomsayers have once again called it too early. Bank of America, the second largest bank in the United States by total assets, announced that the greatest bubble in history is popping. Somehow, it doesn't seem that way. The price of Bitcoin has broken above the $8,000 mark and has steadily collected gains over the weekend. Sure, it could be a simple short squeeze before the imminent demise of the cryptocurrency market. But what has history taught us? Indeed, what has history taught us? Bitcoin bounce continues. Shiller says cryptos could be with us forever. That's right. Nobel Prize winner Robert Shiller has changed his mind on the Bitcoin bubble, now saying that cryptos could be with us forever. A complete capitulation. Roger Ver has unfollowed Mad Bitcoins. Sad to see it. Also interested to learn that there's a Twitter account called @big_blockers. That's a bot that tracks the activity of the big blockers so that those on their own blockchain Don't miss out. Thanks so much to the big blockers bought. Their Bobblehead by Mason.io. Are these on sale? Can you get these? There's Roger Ver in his typical Johnny Cash FU pose, bobbling all over the place. It almost seems like when you lose your temper and resort to anger, you lose the argument, and suddenly everyone could see that the emperor had no clothes. From six-figure slave to millionaire. Diary of a Made Man Who Got Hacked. And it's interesting to focus on the hack so that you can learn from the hack. As he says here, this is how I think I got hacked. My college email was listed as a recovery email to my Gmail. I remember getting an email about it being compromised and tried to follow up, but I wasn't able to get it handled in a fast manner and gave up on it, thinking that it was just an old email. I kept text versions of my private keys stored in Evernote. This is a big red flag, people. You can't keep versions of your private keys on the internet if you want to keep your money. As he said, they were encrypted text files with passwords. He thinks that they hacked his email using his college email and then hacked his Evernote. But remember, the money was already gone the minute that he put his private keys on the internet. You need to keep your private keys off the internet, either in a securely created paper wallet or a Trezor or a Ledger. HCPP. Early bird tickets sold out in 2 hours. Thanks for your support. Check out the Hackers Congress in Prague at Paralinzi Polis, taking place October 5th through 7th. I'll be there, and so will Tone Vase. Miles Sutter. Why do I not give a shit about Ethereum and other altcoins? Because in the big picture, it pales in comparison to Bitcoin's mission as the global, unmanipulative, sound money currency that takes away government's ability to print money and go to war. And this is a big point. It is about more than just the penny stocks and people getting rich and people getting poor. It's about banking the unbanked and ending inflationary currency. And interesting to see how the sponsors for Bitcoin Magazine #1 have aged. They're all out of business or hacked. Mt. Gox, out of business and hacked. Crypto Exchange, shut down. Verwox, shut down. Trust Cash, shut down. TradeHill, shut down. Bitcoinica, hacked. And BitInstant, shut down and seized by the FBI. Their founder, Charlie Shrem, put in jail for several years. Bad luck for all of the sponsors of Bitcoin Magazine #1. Not a single survivor. Did you know? Hackers once stole a casino's high roller database through a thermometer in the lobby fish tank. And as we all know, the internet of hackable things are here. That's right, fish tanks and all kinds of other items are now being logged in and added to our internets. This fish tank was designed to monitor the water, the pH control, the amount of food in the tank. And it was connected to the network. The hackers took over the fish tank, broke into the database, and then took the database back out through the fish tank. Your chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and the weakest link is IoT. My favorite aphorism: they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. Reminds me of Bitcoin. And a message from Richard Feynman: you should, in science as well as Bitcoin, believe in logic and arguments, carefully drawn, and not just blindly trust authorities. That's about it for this repeat episode of Today in Bitcoin. Be sure to give us a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications so you can get notifications and be here when the sound breaks. And don't forget to donate Bitcoin to the QR code on your screen right now. I'm in beautiful Las Vegas. Let's see if I can get the camera to work. There we are. Had a shot like this at the beginning, probably caused the microphone to fall out. That makes things much more exciting when I get to do it twice. So maybe the first version was better, but you couldn't hear it. Oh, well. Until next time, we'll be back soon. Bye-bye.